Sébastien again, and now it's time for our key phrases and expressions. I hope you enjoyed our video and our article, but now it's time for us to talk. So, how do we start our favorite quality conversations? Well, we ask, for example, did you see or watch a certain TV show or movie? Nowadays, movies and TV shows are so important, and people like to share their favorites. Did you see or watch the last season of Peaky Blinders? I did. If you are a little higher level, you can ask for recommendations. Have you seen any great movies lately? Have you seen any great movies lately? I just watched Parasite, a wonderful Korean movie. The next recommendation you can ask for are books. People love to share the literature that they love. For example, have you read any good books lately? You can also ask for a more subtle way, Do you know any great novels, or can you recommend any great novels? A novel is a book, but more literary. Have you tried any new restaurants? Is another great quality conversation question. I do love to eat good food. Have you tried any good restaurants lately? Other topics include, do you like to travel? Do you like to travel? I was just in Corsica. You can also ask, do you go to museums? As a man who loves art, I love to go to museums, and I like to ask people which museums they go to. A more nuanced question that implies the love of museums for you B1s and B2s is, did you go to the exhibit? For example, did you go to the Tutankhamun exhibit in September? It was lovely. Have you ever been to is another travel question, asking if a person has ever visited a certain area or place. Have you ever been to Orléans in spring? It's a lovely city. You can also ask how long a person has been in a certain place. How long have you been in Paris? How long have you lived in London? A more nuanced question that again implies how long a person has lived in a city is, what is your favorite place in the city? People like to think of themselves as experts. I know I do. And they like to share their favorite locations. What is your favorite place in the city? Mine is a little jazz bar in Porte-la-Villette. You can also ask, have you ever thought of moving somewhere else? This shifts the conversation towards future plans. Everyone has future plans, and they're all beautiful dreams. Have you ever thought of moving to Germany? You can move on from this to, have you ever heard of? This is a question asking your conversation, the person with whom you are sharing a conversation, to share an experience, a place, a band, whichever, with you. Have you ever heard of the Fatback Band? They are a jazz ensemble. In this same way, you can ask, what made you choose? This is a question asking the person with whom you are speaking to share their decisions. This can be as simple as, what made you choose this meal? Or it can be complicated, like, what made you choose to study finance? A more complex question is, what's next for you? Asking, what will be the next step in your career or the next phase of your life adventure? This is a lovely question, and people like to share in depth when you ask it. Our next question asks the person with whom you are speaking to share their ambitions. Do you have any dreams to fulfill? This question asks people to share the dreams that they would like to accomplish in a lifetime. I know that I want to sail across the Atlantic. For those of you who are more advanced, we have an expression for this in English. It's called a bucket list. This is a list of actions, activities, and experiences we would like to accomplish before we die. What's on your bucket list? I would like to visit the Great Wall of China. Finally, when asking these questions, the person with whom you are speaking might ask them back. How do you answer this? You can answer very simply. I highly recommend. I highly recommend Hopscotch. It's a lovely novel. I highly recommend you listen to Kamasi Washington, an album. This is an emotional way of sharing an interest or a taste that you have. I hope you enjoyed this video. Before we go, I have to tell you that now it's time for you to practice. I want you to ask 4 questions in a short recording that you'll post here. Thanks so much. Until next time.